251 for 4 England at the end of day one. Today, in many ways, felt like someone had said, hey, do you want to watch TV? Do you want to watch a 22-minute TV episode after watching TikToks for 5 years? Just like not a bad show, just like a middle-of-the-road How I Met Your Mother, 22 minutes. You know what I'm saying? It was like listening to Nickelback when you've been Shazamming 15-second Insta Reels. Have you ever tried to watch a YouTube video and then the ads start buffering? Today, I went to the bathroom without my phone. That's how it kind of felt today. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what it was. I think I had a good day. Some guys did some stuff, but it wasn't what I was expecting. Pezza, 251 for 4 after a full day of cricket.
And waking up from my slumber here as well. Is today the day that Bazball died? Or is today the day that Bazball matured?
The teddy bears did not have their picnic.
Yeah. It's an interesting day for Bazball. If you don't Bazball every time, is it really Bazball? A lot of questions coming out of today, philosophically, economically, spiritually, sociologically, etc. But I thought where we'd start here goes, before we tear strips off the superficiality of England's ideology and philosophy when it comes to cricket at their very home. As I look at a discarded Moet bottle in front of me. We'll just start with a Lord's fit check. Like, I just want to set the scene of what this occasion is, because there is a lovely buzz in the air before the first day at Lord's. Today, bathed in glorious London sunshine, in its summer, people streaming out of St John's Wood Station, and everybody looked pretty fucking good.
They did.
I got to say, Indians turned up. It was a highway of aviators all around the ground, outside and inside. It seems for many, and the English, of course, it is a it's a phalanx of dapper delight.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's tweed, it's grey, it's pale blue shirts, it's people walking with intent with a bottle of Veuve Clicquot, at 10:15 a.m. That is the scene. A quiet crowd, a studied crowd.
Yes.
We're going to come to the impact of the conditions on what we saw on field. But that was the vibe. Very different to Edgbaston. We were certainly in Birmingham, staying in a place which was very ropey. Very, very ropey, and fair play to it. This is just, London is richly cosmopolitan, and the rest of England, it feels different to that, and that's fair enough. That's just diversity.
Yeah, that's right.
That's diversity. But that was what we arrived to this morning. It was a lovely scene.
Yeah, that's totally right. Now, this game, for Indian fans, feels so much like Graham Souness grabbing the Galatasaray flag and planting it in the middle of Fenerbahce's pitch. It feels like that, right? This feels like aviators against linen suits and Panama hats.
Yes.
There are guys storming around looking $1 million, some of them literally showing off cash, and $1 million in a deal or no deal style situation. This is literally the home of cricket. Now, there'll be a lot of new-moneyed Indians telling you, well, it's actually Modi Stadium these days. That is the home of cricket.
And they'd be right.
And there'll be a lot of guys, this is new India, this is rising middle-class India, saying, you know what, we look pretty bloody good in a Panama hat and a linen suit ourselves, okay? So get in line. This is our show, okay? Planting the flag at the home of cricket. Where's the home of cricket? MCG, obviously. What are we doing here? Good question. That sort of stuff. Now, to that end, I do want to shout out our live show, Pezza, which I should have done at the top. If you want to get tickets to our live show, it's on Sunday night, this Sunday night. Come along and see us at the Hammersmith Apollo. Tickets at greycricket.com. Special guest Stuart Broad. There are some tickets available. Get those last tickets because it's going to sell out, so it's going to be really, really exciting on Sunday night. Come along and see us. Tickets at greycricketer.com. Okay.
England wins the toss and bats. Were they shamed into batting by the press?
Yeah.
Here goes.
Yeah.
Was it a homage to flexibility? Is this Bazball maturing? Is it growing up, saying we will find multiple routes to victory? Or was it a total abandonment for everything that they've stood for? It can only be one or the other.
Which one of those was it?
Or did they just have a look at the thing and go, this is a very dry day. This is a very slow deck. This is suburban third grade deluxe. And if that is what they concluded, they were correct in that conclusion. Not many wickets, not many runs. Stokes asked for pace and bounce, so they gave him a slow turner. And You know, like, given he won't be able to ask for the conditions he wants in Australia, this is actually 1-0 to the MCC. Like, this is paternalism. This is saying, Stokesy, you're not always going to get what you want, brother.
Yeah.
Positive paternalism at that, but the MCC is good at that.
Yeah.
Dry, little pace in the wicket, it's so hot here that the MCC has actually dispensed with the policy of its members requiring jackets out on the benches. That's how hot it is here, it actually has been so dry in London that there isn't enough water to give life to the wicket. So what we're talking about today, what we saw today, was a climate change based set of conditions. Therefore, 1-0 Cummins. You know what I'm saying? Has Cummins' connection to climate change, his recognition of global warming, just given him the edge when it comes to the Ashes this summer, because there's fuck all rain going around here, and there's no life in the deck. You know, not enough water to go around.
So to that end, Trent spent some of the day in the outer today, and he overheard a couple of chaps talking. He said to one another, saying, "It's no longer blazer weather." So that is quite different to the Hollies, let me tell you, last week at Edgbaston. I think today, Pezza, what we saw is the way England batted. They were respectful. They were circumspect at times. I would say after Zach Crawley's dismissal. I think they showed that they may have made a mistake in the way they played last week. Now, it takes enormous...
Why couldn't they bat like this on day 5?
Exactly. So I think it takes enormous effort, as we know, for men to admit that they're wrong. You know why? Because we're trying not to die from heart disease at 53 from eating red meat 8 days a week. There's a lot going on here, okay? You know, don't try and tell me that I'm also wrong. Another steak? Go on then. What else is for breakfast? Now, I think the way they played...
Obviously, the flip side to that being, like, I can't admit a mistake. I
can't admit a mistake.
Too busy eating red meat.
I may have got it wrong last week. The way they played today was just a battle of bat and ball. Now, obviously, no one's got an interest in that because I've been on TikTok for 5 years.
Absolutely.
But I think the way they played today suggests that, you know what, we should be leading the series 1-0. But let's not hark on the mistakes gone past, you know. But I thought the way they played admits that...
They made an admission today.
I think so.
Through the way they played.
I think so.
Yeah, everyone has absolutely lost the run of themselves in the conversation about conditions. Seriously, honestly, in the course of this series, it's been like, what about these decks? These decks get better. That's not going to be right for Bazball. That means you have to actually bowl first to chase at the end, and they shouldn't have done that in Edgbaston because the decks started misbehaving. That's not going to be the decks you're going to get in Australia. So let's actually get pace and bounce into the decks at Lords where it hasn't rained for fucking 17 years, and now it's like slow and lifeless and it's right over. We can't have those decks either. This all boils down to Ash's obsession. Truly, until the ECB can use artificial intelligence to actually recreate every Australian pitch, there is this other alternative where you go, why don't we just play the conditions in front of us? Why don't we play a brand of cricket that works for those conditions? And I want to say, to England's credit and my dismay, today it appears as though they've gone, you know what, there are many ways to skin a cat. You know, you get a cat in front of you, some sandpaper, whatever. You know, I don't know why people want to choose different ways to skin cats, but nevertheless there are. And today England have said, I'm going to choose plan B for skinning this cat, and that means winning cricket games.
It's like folding a piece of A4 paper. How many times can you do that? The answer's 7. Same way to skin a cat.
Exactly. So let's talk. Okay, so 17 minutes of that. Let's talk about what we actually saw today. The first ball was delivered by Jasprit Bumrah, and it was taken at Rishabh Pant's shins. And we thought, okay, here we go. We've seen this before. Duckett and Crawley do a bit of hard work. Crawley, I don't know, batting outside off stump, charging your delivery, etc. But they do kind of get through the first hour before, and I saw this coming, Nitish Kumar Reddy going bang, bang. He strangles Duckett. Great ball to Crawley. And, one might say, great captaincy, Shubman Gill, who obviously looked at the conditions and went, you know what, NKR is the guy that's going to get this done here. And
to NPR.
And also MKR, my kitchen rules. So... in the middle of those two dismissals, Gill drops a very, very tough chance that he should have taken. It's funny how that works in cricket, isn't it?
Yeah. Would have been a screamer. Seen him taken, should have been done.
But Crawley and Duckett depart, and it's our first watch for the day. But is Zach Crawley now a watch? He goes.
I can't figure it out, and I know. Here's what I think. I think with Crawley, it's like, do you aspire for something greater from your opening batter? And like he's just got this thing where he's going to blast 170 at some point. You think, oh my God, this guy is, he fully deserves to be opening batting with Ben Duckett, who's been great. The test match the other day, was it the first test, the second innings? He made 65 and they put on 200. That's a contribution to the game. He's got it in him, and then the rest of the time it's like, threes.
Mate, threes.
Yeah,
his average might drop, might not have a 3 in front of it by the end of the series.
Yeah, I know.
But
so it's Aussies rate him. The Aussies rate him.
Ceilings-based decision, and they think he can win you a Test match against Australia,
and
that's worth more than anything.
Yeah.
In English cricket, and I back that up as well. Then the Crawley and Root and Pope take themselves through to lunch.
Yes.
2 down. Fucking very little happens in the second session at all. Punt goes off with a digit.
Yep.
2 hours later, the BCCI announced or give an update to his injury, and they say he went off with a finger injury. He's getting treated. So appreciated that update.
Brilliant.
Replaced by Dhruv Jurel, wonderful wicketkeeper replacement. But it was slow and steady missionary batting from England.
Yep.
So they go in 2 down. Ollie Pope done the hard work. He was still looking proddy, but he was 44 not out, 44 red at T. Jadeja had come on by then. You're like, puffs of dust day one. Interesting test for Shoaib Bashir. I mean, you were saying this in the press box. You're like, because you look two cars ahead.
Yeah.
Should be very interesting to see if Shoaib can get it done.
I sort of zoomed out at 30,000 feet, Pezza.
Yeah.
And I thought, what does this mean for Shoaib Bashir?
Yeah.
And it looks like he's in a position where, at this moment in time, it just feels like he's in a position where he might be able to win a game for England at home. The deck will change 18 times between now and then, but it looks like it's going to spin. It's going to be up and down.
Anyway, third session after tea, Jadeja gets Pope first ball. Done all the hard work. Big old cover drive caught behind. Great catch.
Nice catch.
Jurel, want to say. Getting the DK treatment on Sky as well. This is why this is good.
Nice.
And then Root and Brook, the premium English batting products, come together in hot, placid conditions with the opportunity to deliver post-tea profits after the first 2 sessions of investment, otherwise known as cashing after tea. Brook, unfortunately, succumbs to a weakness that I've sort of identified with him, and that is when a ball seams back 1 metre.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, that's when people go, like, he's actually got a weakness to the ball coming in. It's like, when it comes in fucking 3 metres at 140 clicks, most of us would have a weakness with that as well. He's received 2 absolute seeds to be dismissed, Harry Brook.
He's been found out at this level. He has been found out at this level, and it's just that ball that decks 1.5 metres. I've added 50 centimetres to that, but look, he's got an absolute seed again. He looks at the pitch in absolute despair and dismay. And if you're here in the bottle bank next to us, that's because the wonderful ground staff here are cleaning things up from people popping corks at 11 a.m. or 11s as they call it.
I can see a lot of 11s here. But big weakness there from Harry Brook. It's a big watch.
Yeah, it's a big watch. It's a watch.
When did off cutters start to be called nip backers?
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
I don't know.
It's nips back. Yeah, like. You don't say spin pass. It's just an off cut. But anyway, we're calling that nip backers.
Yeah.
And then so that sees Ben Stokes, another premium product, I suppose, join Joe Root, and they make it through all the way to the end. Yeah, all good, guys. Thank you. And interestingly, during Stokes' innings, he still looked pretty arrhythmic. There wasn't a bunch of fluidity there, but he seems to contract a groin injury. He goes at some stage.
Yeah.
That's what they're saying. That's definitely a watch. Now, a couple of elements to Ben Stokes getting injured. We know that when he gets injured and starts limping, that's when he starts outperforming his statistics. It's probably the most Bazball part of the day.
Yes.
And perhaps he was looking at the day and going like, I need to feel something, right? Now, I'm not saying he's deliberately pinged his groin, but he's like, I don't recognise what this is, so I might start limping around.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
Beware the maimed lion.
Well, exactly, the maimed lion, and people on comms going like, he is a warrior, Ben Stokes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, let's be clear, parentheses, he is injured. Hope he gets well soon. No one likes to see anybody get injured.
No.
Okay, now that's done. But a mark coin does take a while.
It does. Nice.
And then later on in the day, some flying ants or midgies or ladybirds, a swarm of them stops him from batting with 2 overs to go, interestingly. And that's just provided a little bit of, like a little bit of colour on an otherwise very, very missionary day.
The fact we're talking about it suggests the amount of tapestry that was going on and on day one here.
So let's talk about Joe Root.
Yeah.
He finishes the day 99 not out. He goes.
Yeah, what a player.
And England today get to feel the safety of a Joe Root, near century in cruise control. For the English, could there be a greater palate cleanser after all of your tippy-tappy Bazball Farrago for the last couple of years than just Joe Root in a sedate, unflappable, unflustered cruise control 99 red.
Yeah. On a day where Sachin Tendulkar rings the bell to commence this test match, looking $1 million, second only to Ravi Shastri, who was looking $2 million, if anything.
And he wants more, like India's proportion of money in global cricket.
And that is USD, believe me. That is in the one colour.
Oh, believe me.
So Joe Root coming into the crease, and he gets his 103rd score of 50-plus in test matches. He equals Jacques Kallis, and he equals R.T. Ponting. He's 16 away from Sachin Tendulkar. That just goes to show how absolutely incredible Sachin's numbers are. But Joe Root, it was once again imperious. It was chanceless, if that matters at all. It was in control. It was leadership again. I suppose the 103 50-plus scores just reminds me of what it was like when he went through maybe 6 years where he scored 50s and no hundreds. Which is just remarkable because he just, I don't know what happened in his life where he just figured it out. But he's a guy who we see every generation, I suppose, who's just figured out batting.
Yeah.
He's just figured it out. And look, he played and missed a couple of times, so he was lucky.
Yeah, this is and to be clear, this isn't a Cam Green situation. He hasn't gone to see a madam. That's not what Joe Root needed. I'd imagine it's more of a Don Draper, discovering meditation and feeling thing, touching grass and getting in touch with oneself.
Spoilers, because I am watching that at the moment, but yeah.
Apologies for the Mad Men spoilers.
It has been out for 15 years, but please, give me a chance.
That's my bad. I apologise. And that's our road to Joe Root. 99 not out, doesn't look like getting out.
And a nice bit of byplay between Jadeja and Joe Root on the second last ball where Root takes a single and then to get Stokes on strike, two balls left, and then Jadeja rolls along. He's like, hey, are we doing this? Take me on. Fun stuff all around. Yeah,
I also noticed on comms I was saying this is very much like Steve Orr's last ball 100. I don't think it is, but that's just me. Hashtag RCGC, as long as the hashtag's there, now I can find it. From our dear friends at Patreon, patreon.com/Grey Cricket. That's where you can support us if you want to.
If you want to get behind the boys, you want to support the boys.
Now, a lot of people are making the point that finally they're letting ladybirds into Lords. To the MCC.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's appropriate because I've been in for a little while. But ain't that the Antoinette Lattouf says, proper day of Test cricket, fucks this shit.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's the sentiment.
This was 2010. This was actually probably closer to 1997. Yeah. And you know what? In lots of ways, I feel good about that.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of English people around here just taking a breath, just going, fuck, we are so back. We are so back.
There's a lot of people at that end of the pavilion which was 1997. Just because they were younger.
Courtney says, how dare my own genetic freaks make me watch normal Test cricket after 2 years of Bazball run fests? Where's my run fest? He says. Willie Bin, first 11 captain, says, jolly good show.
11ses.
Yeah, Big Basket Mauser Donk says, what is a Nitish Kumar Reddy and why does it make me nervous?
Yeah.
Well, it is a shout out to Shubman Gill's captaincy there, and also Jadeja first over after tea. It's funny how these things change. I didn't think Gill was captaining at the end of Headingley apparently, but now he's got the golden touch.
Yeah.
Rob Turner says, might leave the tangerine and belt in the cupboard this evening after that day.
Yeah.
All right.
I do get the feeling, I don't know about you, but this game's going to move quite quickly. I think the first day is one of these things where gold coin donation again for the first day, and you're going to get full whack, full value in your later days. I do get the sense that it's going to move quite quickly, given the deck is already up and down. But
Callum McNamara says, I hate it when Bazball is sensible. I hate it when Bazball is reckless, as is my right. So that's it. We're never happy. Yeah. You're never happy.
Somewhere in the middle of that.
Yeah. Don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Change the channel, Marge. Just another one from Watches People Spot Planes. Joe Two-Root says, Jeffrey Boycott England coach when a point. Roll the clip, Charlie says, a tough wank. Ron Jeremy Corbin Bosch says, time for India to kneecap Bumrah for the betterment of the outcomes.
Yeah. Well, we know about kneecap, don't we?
True. They're not allowed to advertise on the tube now. Jay Shah's WTC highlight says, Olympic Stokes. 5-0 England Ashes win. He's back on.
Yeah, that's right.
People said the limping Stokes. They go, well, that's an aesthetic.
Yes, that's right.
It's an aesthetic.
That's right.
Won't say that. Universe Hoff says, should Root retire out of respect for Sachin, who never made the honours board?
That's pretty good.
Yep,
that's pretty good. Well done.
Yep. Vian Mulder's cuck chair says, what the fuck was that? Where's my iPad? I need to scroll TikTok and play Candy Crush. All these dopamine receptors ain't going to be happy.
Well, that's the end of day one here. It's fantastic to be back at Lord's. This place, you never get sick of every time you come. So if you see us around the grounds the next couple of days, come and say g'day. Come and say g'day at our live show. But don't be too loud on stage. We'll just abuse you back. So that's how that works.
Well,
but,
unless you want that.
Yeah, well, I guess that's the tit for tat situation we've got. Thanks to Trent for putting this all together. And for eavesdropping on guys saying it's no longer blazer weather. It's been a glorious day here in London. Great to be back at Lord's. See you guys tomorrow for day 2.